I just really can't believe that the show has ended like this. That is one hell of a fucking cliffhanger. If only they could continue it on another platform, but Starz was the only one that would let them have the amount of gore, so to speak. Okay, so as many of you might know, Ash vs Evil Dead has been cancelled. Starz has pulled the plug on the show, and it is now kaput. But believe it or not, as crazy as this sounds, that is not my major complaint. My major complaint is that they have just left the ending of Season 3 like they did. Right, I am going to have to go into spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen the season finale, which actually is the season finale, turn off the video, because I don't want to spoil it for any of you who haven't seen it. Okay, so the ending of Season 3, Episode 10, which is called, the episode's called The Mettle of Man, we see what Kundar actually is. And it's this huge, big, humongous demon which comes out of the ground and is... At first you think it's indestructible, but it's not really. Okay, that sort of bugged me a tiny bit, but I could move past it. So we actually knew what Kundar was, because we heard talks of it and we didn't know what it was. So that's good that it was shown. But the ending of Season 3. So Ash defeats Kundar. Then it goes all blurry and Ash is dragged away to a cell. And it's a white room. And he awakes from a mechanical box, so to speak. And he's got a brand new hand. Brand new hand. It's not... It's basically his other hand that he lost in Evil Dead 2. But it's biomechanical at the wrist. So I thought, okay, maybe that hand's going to be powerful and we'll see him do something with it as the show ends. Not really. So if you watched Season 3, you'll know that there are these knights who worship Ash, and one of them brings Ash to a different room and shows the Delta. But before the Delta is shown, Ash is shown the world and what it looks like now, and it is post-apocalyptic. There is nothing left. And all these things that were going through my mind, post-apocalyptic, Evil Dead, it just reminded me of A Fistful of Boomstick. If you've played the last mission, which is Dearborn, post-apocalyptic Dearborn, on the game Evil Dead: A Fistful of Boomstick, it just reminded me of that. So, there's nothing left of this world, Elks Grove. There's nothing left of it. This one female knight shows Ash the Delta, and it's turned into... It's sort of like the Delta from Army of Darkness, but it's got gun cannons on it, and it says "Hail to the King" on the bumper. I thought, okay, that's going to be great. That looks cool. But what really bugged me is that Ash asks, "Where's my daughter?" And this one knight says, "I'll tell you whilst we're driving." So Ash pulls on his coat, and his coat is like... Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's semi-Mad Max, pretty much. And his last words to the camera were, "Groovy." And then it just ended. Not to mention that this one female knight was also biomechanical. And I read a Facebook post. After the show got cancelled, I read a Facebook post that said that season 4 would have taken place in a post-apocalyptic world, and they probably weren't lying. They really weren't lying, because obviously the way this episode ended. But what bugs me is that they've just ended it there. How? How can you end it there? What happened to Kelly? What happened to Pablo? What happened to Brandy? We obviously know what happened to Ruby. She was destroyed. What happened to the Dark Ones? Where did they go? Where did they take the book? It just ended. This is a semi-rant review. I'm not upset. I'm just really disappointed that it just ended this way, and it's not. It has nothing to do with the cast and crew of Ash vs Evil Dead. They did a fantastic job. They were like that. They were like that. My complaint is at Stars. They just cancelled the show. Now, I did hear something that the fans weren't showing. It was either the fans weren't showing enough support, or which I doubt is, that's definitely not the case, or a lot of people just weren't watching it. I've been a loyal fan since day one. I was watching the first Evil Dead when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and to hear Bruce Campbell's farewell hit hard, really. His farewell actually was: Ash vs Evil Dead has been the ride of a lifetime. Ash Williams was the role of a lifetime. I will always be grateful to Stars, Sam Raimi, Rob Tapert, and our timeless fans for the opportunity to revisit the franchise that launched our careers. Thank you. Just to know that Bruce will never return as Ash does, I'm not going to lie, upset me a little bit. Okay, final jump cut. I'm going to end this video like this. So, I looked on Bloody Disgusting's webpage, and I will link the page that I looked at in the description bar below. And they said, here's how you can let Netflix know you want them to pick up Ash vs Evil Dead. So, I scrolled down and took a closer look. I read the whole thing, and this is what they said. So how do you show Netflix how much you love Ash vs Evil Dead? On the off chance they have any interest whatsoever. For starters, you can watch the shit out of the first 2 seasons on the streaming service. The 3rd season will likely be added later on this year. Additionally, you can fill out Netflix's request a title form in big and bold with Ash vs Evil Dead Season 4. The form was actually created to request already existing content, but again, we figure it couldn't hurt to put a ton of Ash love on their radar. So, if you want to, you can go over to fill out Netflix's request a title form and type in Ash vs Evil Dead Season 4. Or, another option is that you can tweet at Netflix on Twitter and kindly ask them to hashtag #BringBackBoomstick. So that's just your way of letting Netflix know that they might be able to do something for Season 4. But I really doubt that that will happen, because like Bruce said, in other words, it's time to move on. Because he's retired, he's been playing the character for 30 years, but I filled out Netflix's requested title form in big and bold letters, Ash vs Evil Dead Season 4, and I also did tweet Netflix with Bring Back Boomstick, because that's how, I guess, loyal I am. I absolutely love the whole universe of Evil Dead. So, that's where I'm going to end it there. All I'm going to say is, thank you, Bruce Campbell. Thank you, Sam Raimi, for creating this amazing franchise. Thank you, Bruce, for creating this amazing character. Thank you, Rob Tapert. Thank you, Ivan Raimi. Thank you, Ted Raimi. Thanks, Lucy Lawless. Thank you to the whole team of Ash vs Evil Dead. Dana, who played Kelly. Ray, who played Pablo. And Lee Majors, who played Ash's father. Thanks to all you guys, and of course the actress who played Ash's daughter. I really can't remember her name, or I don't know her name, but thanks to her as well, because she was actually one of my favourite characters of this season. Thanks to everyone who, I guess, supported the show as it was running, and all that's left to say is rest in peace Ash vs Evil Dead, for now, hopefully. Alright, I'm going. I'm probably now going to binge watch the first 2 seasons, and then binge watch the whole series and the films, play the games, and yeah, I really need to hunt down the Evil Dead soundtrack, but on vinyl. So expensive. Anyway, I'm off. Thanks to Ash vs Evil Dead. Take care, guys.